Oh, hello. Welcome to Bow In. I'm your instructor, Master Anthony Lerma, the founder of American Budokan. Today, I was just doing a little home training with my Budo Buddy. Today, we're going to do our first Budo Bag workout, getting to know your Budo Buddy. You'll have to know a couple of basic positions and stances. The attention position, with the heels together, toes apart, from the front, from the side, bending not at the back, but at the waist, whether it's for a formal bow, or to touch my toes, or to touch the floor. The back stays relatively straight when bending at the knees and waist in the attention position. Our next position is the ready position. For this one, drawing the hands in, clenching the fists, curling the fingers, exhaling as I kick out. In, out, curling up, expanding back out. The ready position. From here, our first basic stance. There's a movement that accompanies our first basic stance, the horse stance. The horse stance is a stronger way of standing. So while attention only has stability because the feet are at 45 degrees, when I waddle my toes out to my ready position, now I have more lateral stability, more mobility. Now I'm going to step out with my right foot even wider to the horse stance. The move that accompanies this is an X block. If the right foot steps, the right hand goes in front. That's so if somebody grabbed my right hand, my stance would shore it up. If my left hand was in front and I stepped to my right, they would pull me off my base, dropping the weight. If your back is straight, which it should be, and you look down, you shouldn't see your toes. If you look down and see your toes, you need to bend your knees. You don't have to overdo it either. Find a good range that's comfortable for you. Now, that's your basic horse stance. From our sidestepping horse stance, right, sidestepping side to side in a horse stance, now we're going to get into a nice horse stance and shift to a back stance. My right toes are going to turn perpendicular, and I'm going to shift my weight to the back. This is the back stance. My toes come to the front. Now my left toes turn perpendicular, sitting my weight to my right. This is a back stance. More than 60% on the rear leg. Now later, there will be tons of different hand variants, but for right now, focus on just keeping the elbows back. When you have your Budo Bag, you'll have to pull your Budo Bag up to put more weight, forming like a quarter of a squat when you do your back stance. And there's our back stance. Our final stance that we need for this drill is the front stance. Similar to the horse stance, it has a wide base, the knees are bent, but the back leg will be straight. When I step forward, now I have a back leg. More than 60%, 60 to 70%, again, hands on the belt, this is your front stance. I can do this with a sharp stepping motion or a very traditional C stepping motion, dropping the weight forward, pulling it back. The right foot, C stepping forward, C stepping back. For my front stance, I also want to be able to sidestep by gathering myself in at my core, turning my hips, and sidestepping into the front stance. Now from the lateral, you can see the front knee is bent, the back leg is straight. Like a stick or a wedge holding a door closed, that's your back leg. Your front knee is allowing you to shift for power. And there's your front stance. Now, let's take a look at our Budo Bag. Whenever I pick up a Budo Bag, I never bend over. I always bend my knees. Preferably, I want it between my hip channels. From the attention position, my heels are apart, my toes are together, my heels are apart, so I can drop the bag down between my knees. Now, we're gonna lay the bag out flat, and we're gonna do our first Budo slaps. From the attention position, opening the hip channel, palms out, slap, draw back up. Slap, draw back up. Palms are out, flipping over, drop into the slap, and rise back up. This is your first set. Do a set of 8. Now we're ready for the ready position. My heels are together, my toes are about the width of the body of my Budo Bag right now. I'm going to waddle my toes out and then kick out my heels, so now that my feet are still at an angle, but now they're as wide as my Budo Bag. A little bit more narrow than my shoulders, once again for mobility and stability. Now this exercise, as we curl the hands up, we'll curl up our Budo Buddy. You can grab this Budo Buddy with your palms down or your palms up. A number of different grips. In weapons training, that would be double positive, double negative, positive, negative. But right now, we're going to do an overhand grip, which is the double positive. We're going to bend the hip channels, allowing the energy to drop down, palms down, grab your Budo Buddy by the arms. And when you pick up, make sure you're not bending over, but you're picking up between your ready position hip channels. Now from here, hold your Budo Buddy by the arms, curl inward like a bicep curl with weightlifting. As I do this, I'm going to inhale and draw up my right foot. Releasing. And there's your ready position. Do this in a set of 8. Now we're ready for our first stance. A stance is a stronger way of standing, so it generally has a wider base and we lower our level. I'm going to step to the right. Now normally I just do an X block. When I step to the right, it's my right hand that goes in front for my X block. When I step to my left, it's my left hand that goes in front for my X block. For this exercise, we're going to pull our Budo Buddy by the arms and stretch him out as our elbows go outward. As we step out, we drop our weight, we pull out, we cross for the X block, lifting up, dropping down, returning to your center, and then stepping to your left. As we step out, again, we draw our Budo Bag up, we cross up to the X block, we unwind, and we return. You're going to do this full motion in a set of 8. Out, up, return, out, up, return. And that's your horse stance. Now let's take a look at our next stance, the back stance. Again, we want to hold the Budo Bag by our hips. In our horse stance, we're going to turn our right foot perpendicular to our left foot, and as we do this, we shift our weight to the rear leg, the back leg, making this the back stance. And now, I just squat down in my back stance, pivot my feet and return, pivot my left foot now perpendicular, dropping my weight back to the middle. To add a little extra for this, as I turn, I pull, lifting my Budo Bag up, dropping back to the horse stance, turn, back stance, pulling, lifting my Budo Bag back up. And there's your back stance. Our final is the front stance. There are 2 variations of this, but before we get to the front stance, let's look at the Budo slap. Number 5 is a Budo slap. So, attention, you slap the bag. Ready position, you curl the bag. Horse stance, you lift the bag with your X block. Back stance, you shift with the bag. And our number 5 is the Budo Bag slaps back. For this exercise, we're going to learn how to shoulder our Budo Bag. So, similar to the horse stance, we had the elbows pulling and lifting outward. As we do this motion, we step, we pull out. Now we drop our hips as we thrust our hands up to bring the bag back to your back. Now you've shouldered your Budo Bag. This is going to be for adding increased weight for a number of stances and other conditioning drills. Later, you'll learn how to use weapons training and also things like a judo throw using your shouldered Budo Bag. But for right now, the basic shouldering, 50-50. Now, from here, let's do our front stance. Our right foot C steps forward, shifting and returns, and then stepping back, shifting and then returns. Then our left foot C steps forward and our left foot C steps back, making a front stance. That's our number 6 set. Our number 7 set, after completing 8 of those, our number 7 set is going to be the side step to a front stance. With the bag shouldered, we shift and drop our weight, pull our right foot in, center ourselves, gathering, and then expanding in the front stance, and then returning, gathering, front stance. After a full set of 8 of those, you're ready for your final set, which is the bag drag. For this motion, we're going to unshoulder our bag. We're going to C-step forward, not bending forward, but dropping down to touch the floor or ground with your Budo Buddy. Now, as we shift back, we drag the bag back, pull it up on the hips, elbows pull back, and then we go back to the center. We repeat this on our left side. C-stepping forward, bag touching, not leaning, back straight, shifting back, and pulling back. And we'll do a full set of 8 of those as well. Make sure you build your Budo Buddy. Make sure you put it to work. If these exercises, if your Budo Bag is too heavy, a couple of things that you can do. You can make a small puncture hole in the bottom of your Budo Bag and drain some of the sand out. If this is a 2-ply large trash bag, then this much sand is about the equivalent of a 10-pound Budo Buddy. This much is a 15-pound Budo Buddy, and this much is a 20 to 25-pound Budo Buddy. Now, when I first developed this exercise, I was using my neighbor's cat. My neighbor was the Tiger King. It's a big cat. The cat liked it a lot. The neighbor got jealous. That was the end of that. Anyway, I decided to use my neighbor's pit bull, my other neighbor. The pit bull loved the drill, and my neighbor was fine with that. However, during social distancing, I'm not allowed to use the pit bull anymore. So that's why I developed the old Budo Buddy. I hope that you guys put your Budo Buddy to work. I hope you keep your home training going. I'd like to thank Jack Rasmus for this wonderful sweatshirt. Jack got into Harvard, Princeton, and Yale, I believe. I said, Jack, do your homework before you interview at these schools, and you ask the questions. He did. He got accepted to Harvard. He also was a national champion in Taekwondo. When he got his gold medal, he came to me to thank me, and I said, Jack, put it in your sock drawer. Let's not worry about what we accomplished. You beat that person, but you don't know if their grandma died yesterday, their dog ran away. You don't know their circumstances. Let's focus on our future. He did just that, and what a bright future. Harvard for his undergrad, and then Oxford all the way through to his doctorate. Very impressive. Jack, thanks for the sweatshirt, and thank you for joining me on Bow In. Until next time, make sure you exercise the things that are in your power. Exercise your body first and foremost, but exercise eating properly. When you get stressed out, don't turn to junk food. Then, if you eat well, you'll be fueled for training well. If you train well, you'll be easily to rest well. Eat well, train well, rest well, and be well. And make sure you take your online Budokan classes as well. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoy this workout. I hope you build your Budo Bag and get to work right away. Until next time, thank you for joining me on Bow In, and I'll see you next time.